Hello everybody and welcome back to the Backlogs channel. And on a normal day throughout the normal 7-day week, throughout the normal 12-month year, I would not be talking about something like this. But the Switch 2 hype is so high that I cannot refrain from talking about any Nintendo news within this time. Within limits, obviously. But if I find something interesting, I'm gonna talk about it, and you guys are gonna listen. So, recently, as in today, the Switch 1 has gotten its final big update, system update. And, honestly, not a lot changed, but more than the average update. So, one of the biggest things that changed is there was 2 new icons changed to the bottom of the home screen, right next to the Joy-Con emblem. In between the photos and controller icon, they added a game share icon that is at the moment virtually useless. But within about a month and a half, when the Switch 2 comes out, it will be for when you have a Switch 2 game that you want to play with multiple people locally. You can game share that game to other people, and I guess they're pushing that out right now to get prepared for the Switch 2's launch. On the right side of this controller button, there is a game card icon, which is going to be for all your new game card situation. So if you want to share the same digital game as in the form of a game card with another system that isn't your primary system, then you can just send it over, and now you can play it on that other system with no hassle, and then you can send it back or whatever. Or you can use it to share with anybody in your family group, which I still don't know if that means friends or if that means people that are on your family Nintendo Switch Online plan. I don't know the details of that completely yet. I've tried to get it explained from people to me. I still don't get the exact details of it. Not a big thing, I'm not going to be using a lot, but I do know people that will be using it a lot, and it's a good thing to have. It's a good little free thing to be included. And that's going to work on the Switch 1 and Switch 2. So, just because it happens to come out during the game share time as well, does not mean that it's also for just the Switch 2 and with Switch 1, like, capabilities baked in. Anyways, those are the 2 new things added on to the little bubble below. But if you notice, there's 2 more bubbles that have been added now. First one is the news app. Once it was a red icon, and it was just branded red. It is now changed to green. It is a green icon now, and because they've now switched the Nintendo eShop icon to red instead of yellowish orange it was. And if you even go into the Nintendo eShop, number 1, it runs faster, cleaner, and it's a lot more organized. But number 2, instead of a yellowish, orange, and white display and kind of theme, it is now red and white, kind of on brand for Nintendo. That's their colors, red and white. Mario is red with a white emblem. Nintendo's logo itself is white in a red circle or square, whatever you're looking at. So it just makes sense for them to switch the branding and the theming over to that. A really good thing is that you can now the eShop is very, very nice to run through now. It's very smooth. It's not perfect. But it is it's a step in the right direction. And from what I've seen from the Nintendo Switch 2 eShop, that looks even more different. Now, it looks like it's not the exact, they didn't just change the bottom emblems to look exactly like how the Switch 2 emblems are going to look like. Because the Switch 2 emblems, there's actually a C square for the game chat, I assume, because, you know, the C button and the news emblem little icon is green as well, but it's a different icon. It's like a piece of paper with flipping over itself a little bit, kind of gives 3DS icon vibes. Anyways, overall, it's a nice change. It's very simple. The main thing in this change that I saw that not really anyone's talking about is the icons for your user icons. They've changed up a lot of these original icons. They've just completely edited them to be different icons. So starting with Mario, Luigi, Peach, Yoshi, Bowser, and Donkey Kong, all of them got kind of more new 3D renders, new updated 3D renders. Some of them are minimal, like Yoshi, he's just a little bit less bland and gray feeling. He has a little bit more color in him, and same with Mario, Luigi. They look like new renders. They're doing the same poses for the most part, but they look like new renders. Very minimal changes to all of them except for the Donkey Kong render. Say goodbye to the old render and say hello to the new Donkey Kong render that is now taking over every single bit of Nintendo. It's the new Donkey Kong, and they didn't even keep the old Donkey Kong, so if you like that one more, too bad. So I can just imagine, it automatically changed itself, you don't have to change it in the thing. So I'm sure there was some people that went onto their Switch this morning, saw this little Donkey Kong that they had as their icon, and saw the new one, and was very confused. But I just think it's weird that Nintendo's completely just getting rid of the old Donkey Kong. It's all the new one. Just get rid of anything created by Rare. We don't own Rare anymore. We don't want to acknowledge Rare anymore. We're getting rid of Diddy Kong. We're getting rid of everything Rare related, except the only place at this point that the old Donkey Kong render is still being used, that's new, obviously, is the Donkey Kong World area where there's a huge statue of the old render of Donkey Kong. That's all that's pretty much left. Now, besides those 3D renders of Mario characters, we also got the Yoshi and the Donkey Kong changed up a little bit, the 2D renders of them in the circles. So for Yoshi, all they did was kind of peel back his eyelids, gave him a bigger snout, and they made the white area smaller for some reason, kind of no really reason. They made his orange spikes in the back are called. They connected those. They just very minimal changes that you wouldn't even really notice. Donkey Kong again. They didn't really change him as much here, but they changed how his brow is. It's a lot less. There's a lot less emotion there. His teeth are clenched now. There's a line on his lip, going from his nose to his mouth. He's furry now instead of just flat. It's just very, very minimal changes. Seems like they also rounded out his face a little bit. Stuff that you'd barely even notice, to be honest. But moving on, we also got the mushroom, the fire flower, and the star, and Yoshi's egg. They all just have a little bit more texture on them. They look nicer. I cannot lie, they look nicer. Except for maybe the star. The star had a little bit more texture on it before. It is brighter now though, so it's nice to look at. Also the question block and the shell, the green shell, these also have just a little bit more brightness to them. They're not, it seems like they're going away. They're finally getting rid of the new Super Mario Brothers designs and trying to create some new stuff so it doesn't all feel bland. And the final icon changes are the Pikmin. And for the most part, they're the exact same, but in any shot, they try to show you the face of the Pikmin more, and they try to make it more one color, one texture. There isn't the dots that Pikmin 3 Pikmins had anymore. It is now just flat red, or flat just straight blue, or straight yellow, kind of like how Pikmin 4 was. So for some things they're giving more detail and giving more color, and to other things they're making them more like plastic looking. Anyways, I just, the only real big huge difference here that I saw was the Donkey Kong render changing to the new Donkey Kong design and getting rid of the old one, not even as an option anymore. So anyone that loved the way old Donkey Kong looked, sorry, he's being replaced for good, it looks like. And yeah, that's all I really wanted to talk about today. And see you guys in the next Backlogs video. Bye bye.